Welcome back to the Cricket Today podcast. I'm your host, Liam McAllion, also known as the Stats Guy. As always, I'm here with Marcus Bazzano. We were a little bit pumped, but then England won. So how you feeling, Marcus, after an England win in the Super 8s?
A little less pumped. Obviously, Tom couldn't join us today. Tom from Cricket Today, Tom from Punters.
Yes.
Unfortunately, but you know what? Still looking forward to a big show, and the Super 8s are off and running.
Hopefully the big show for Australia lifts in the T20 World Cup. Yeah, T20 World Cup time. We're going to wrap up the first two Super 8 games. So there was some pretty close results in the end, which was pretty exciting. Go through some news, our question, our tips, and then preview some of the biggest games over the weekend for the Super 8. No Leo as well. A lot of people in the comments surprisingly asking for Leo.
Why?
They're like, where is the third guy? Why? We don't miss him. Yeah.
Who likes Leo? Who's Leo?
Apparently a few guys in the comments. So he'll be back very soon. But for now, it's just you got us two knuckleheads. Before we start, make sure you get around this podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, etc. Subscribe and like the YouTube as well. We're on road to 1,000. Around about 800 now. So since the last podcast, I think we've gone up about 150 or so each podcast, which is very handy.
Yep, 796 currently.
Love that. So almost at that 1,000. So road to 1,000. And get around the socials as well. That's Cricket Today on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and X. Sorry, Cricket Today AU is very handy there. All right, the news. Bit of a weird one. Kane Williamson, he's had a bit of a cry. No, I shouldn't say that. New Zealand obviously bowed out in the group stage. He's quit as New Zealand captain, which really surprised me.
The toys are at the cot.
Does that surprise you? He's not. How
Not
old
really.
Is he?
No, it doesn't surprise me.
Okay.
He's 33.
Okay, he's getting a bit older.
So I think it's probably almost time. Probably you want to end your captaincy on a good note.
Yep.
But the fact that New Zealand were very poor in that World Cup and he's 33, it's a bit of a sour note to end his captaincy. But
yeah,
I don't care. Pass the baton on to someone else, and I think it's time for New Zealand cricket.
Bit of a change, yeah, because obviously he's one of the. In our generation, you've got sort of in that era of even Test cricket, in cricket in general, you've got Joe Root, Steve Smith, Kane Williamson, Kohli, or Babar Azam, as we say on this show, just some of the great batsmen.
Just a couple of quick stats for you. He's played 350 internationals.
Yep, T20 internationals.
I think just overall.
In general. Yeah.
They're all-time leading Test run scorer and second longest serving captain in all formats.
Yeah, so he's a legend. He can probably do what he wants if he wants to quit. That's fair enough. Who's the next captain? I'm looking at some of the players. You got Trent Boult, Lockie Ferguson, both over 33.
Yeah.
So that's a tough one.
A no.
Bracewell's 33. I was thinking possibly Phillips. He's only 27 because he's always around the bouts. Finn Allen's 25. Who else is around the back? They've got a lot of older guys. I'm literally every second guy here is over 30 for New Zealand.
The only young bloke I think was Ravindra.
Yeah, I feel like he's too young.
And I don't think Will Phillips is
Not Will Phillips. He plays for North Melbourne. Glenn Phillips.
Glenn Phillips, sorry. Is a mainstay to sort of...
No.
He's not like...
Finn Allen?
You look at different captains across the world. You got like Rohit Sharma or Virat Kohli with...
Pat Cummins.
Yep. Obviously Ben Stokes for Test England. And then Glenn Phillips doesn't really excite you.
Finn Allen, possibly, because he's younger, 25. That is a bit of a worry for New Zealand. The next captain, who's that superstar for the next captain?
Yeah.
It doesn't look that obvious.
Don't have an answer. So let us know in the comments who you think should be the next New Zealand skipper.
Yeah, our Kiwi supporters out there. Next one in the news, Haris Rauf. This one, very sad, getting verbally abused. He's just walking out of the hotel with his mum, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but that's what I read in an article. Someone was having a go at him from these T20 World Cup efforts.
Pakistan fans.
You can say what you want most of the time. If you go, I'm disappointed with Pakistan, disappointed with the team. Even if you see Haris Rauf go, sorry you didn't make it through, or I'm annoyed that it didn't happen. But don't verbally abuse someone and their family. That is a horrible thing to do.
Way over the mark.
You absolute dog. That Pakistan fan, that is a horrible thing to do.
Yeah, and Haris Rauf was ready to throw fists.
He was. He took off his shoes. He jumped over the hedge. And then this other guy was holding him back. I think it was like him against 4 people as well.
I don't blame him. Like they were giving him abuse and then he wants to throw hands and they sort of cowered away, the people. They're walking back. But no, then again, it shouldn't never get to that point. No. And I think, I don't know, the nerve to even go up to an international cricketer who obviously wants to win for your country. And he was very passionate in the India-Pakistan game that we were live streaming. Yeah, like you can see it, like it hurt the Pakistan players.
Yeah, he's not trying to purposely lose. We love Pakistan fans because they're so passionate, and India fans. They're both just so passionate. But you can definitely cross the line. Most of them are fine.
Yes.
99% of them are fine. Just this couple of guys that just went up to Haris Rauf. Just don't do that. And we don't like to see that for Haris Rauf.
Exactly.
Absolutely love Haris Rauf. Other news, Travis Head. We love that he loves an absolute session after a big win.
Yep.
He's saying he regrets his past World Cup antics. There was all those photos of him half passed out with his sunnies on, with the medal. You don't think he
doesn't. It's a part of Australian antics. It's just the culture of Australia. It's just to have a sesh when you win something.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's a shame because of Australia that have won so much and they just want to have so many sessions.
At least he hasn't done anything wrong. Maxi has been in the hospital a few times from celebrating.
If anything, I remember Mitch Marsh got in trouble in the ODI World Cup for resting his feet on the trophy and like having a cigar or whatever.
Who cares? Yeah.
Or having a beer.
Yeah. Anyway, this is just a bit funny. Travis Head's probably just saying that
you
for
can
the
do
media.
what you want.
Do what you want. Not to a level. He hasn't done anything wrong. Just had a few beers.
Yeah, it's not like he's like gone out the way and sort of ridiculed another team. Like how I know sometimes in soccer, and it's happened in soccer before.
Other sports as well, yeah.
Where like teams sort of
ridicule the other team.
For winning or like joke around about the other club and sort of disrespect the nation that they're playing against. They haven't done that.
No.
So I don't see a problem with it.
No, fair call. All right, moving on. Yeah, nah question. You've chucked this one in there. England obviously won this morning. We're going to cover that in our wraps. Yep. But what's your yeah, nah?
I'm going to give this to you and also the audience.
I thought you were going to say Joe behind the camera. He'll be like, what?
But have we underestimated England? They just beat the West Indies, which we'll talk about.
That's a very good yeah, nah.
Can they go all the way?
I'm going to say yeah, because I tipped West Indies in this one. West Indies, I wouldn't say they're in the box seat. It was very even. Then the depth of England just took over. You got Johnny Bairstow and Phil Salt, who people before maybe last year would go, I wouldn't rate them as the best 2020 players in the world. Phil Salt has just been awesome since the IPL.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say, yeah. We've been talking down England a lot. They weren't amazing in the groups. They just snuck through.
No. They're probably very lucky to sneak through.
Like in a lot of tournament in sport, you just need to build. Like Argentina,
you do need a bit of luck in tournament.
And they've just beaten the West Indies, who are undefeated. So I'm going to say, yeah, we've underestimated a bit because they are in the box seat now for the Final Four.
Yeah, they are. They are. So anything can happen once you go to the Final Four. So you'd have to say England.
We've underestimated
we definitely have underestimated them because
I think that's because we're Aussies and we're being a bit biased, but
maybe, but you never know. You never know. But the United States basically have to beat England now, I think. Considering the net run rate of England, because they won by 8 wickets against the Windies, and they got a net run rate of plus 1.3 from that game. So I think we have underestimated England just a little bit.
No, that's all right. We've both gone, there being Aussie fans, that kills us to say. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're going to do some game wraps here so you can hear about your country and your team. Subscribe on Cricket Today AU and Cricket Today Podcast. Game wrap, Super 8, the first 2 games. The overnight one was USA taking on South Africa. Marcus, USA put up a really strong fight here against the Proteas, yeah.
They did. Well, first of all, South Africa made 194 for 4. Quinton de Kock was outstanding, 74 off 40 balls. It's probably the first time he's really made runs in this tournament, I think.
He hasn't been great the last 6 months in a lot of different tournaments. He was horrible in the Big Bash. Yeah. He didn't get picked up in the IPL or things like that, but 74 or 40, 185 strike rate. You love to see that.
Aidan Markram and Heinrich Klaassen also chipped in with the bat as well. But, America, they made 176, so they made a game out of it. They only lost by 18 runs, but
I should be doing our chant for Klaassen.
I know.
Hector, teacher, Heinrich Klaassen, superstar. I forgot about that one. It's the IPL show throwback there.
Yeah, but top run scorers for America. You want to go through that?
Oh, the Americans have actually been so exciting. Some of the batters have just been emerging in this tournament. You got, Andreas Goose. I don't want to say that wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's...
I'm not sure how to pronounce it.
Yeah, I think it's Goose. 80 off 47, the wicket keeper. 5 4s, 5 6s, 170 strike rate. Absolutely awesome. I think a lot of people would have penciled in 150 or less for... or maybe even less, 140 or less for USA.
He's a South African as well, against South Africa.
Is he?
Yeah, made 80 or 47.
He was born in South Africa. There you go.
He was.
He's like, you didn't pick me, so I'll play for USA and just dominate you myself. So they've done really well there. I think it was a pretty good batting pitch because obviously 2 big scores, but they're keeping their heads held high. They're going to go into this Super 8. People would have gone, if they do make it to the Super 8, they'll get smashed. No.
They've already exceeded expectations. Yeah. And you know what?
They got a chance.
Please beat England.
If they beat England, we might have to do like an hour-long podcast just on that game because that'd be very funny. They've done really well. South Africa got the job done. Who got the wickets in the end for South Africa? Let's having a quick look. Rabada, he's back because obviously Nortje has been their best bowler this tournament, but Rabada, 3 for 18, 4.5 economy rate. You'll love to see that. Nortje, not at his best actually, only 1 for 37. Shumsy. I saw some videos of him. Yeah. He loves a chat, Shumsy. He loves the sledging and things like that.
He loves a bit of a sledge. I love
12 and a half, 1 for 50. What is he doing, Shumsy?
Yeah, not great. You can't be sledging when you when you got figures of 1 for 50 or 4 overs. But look, this has probably put, I wouldn't say South Africa in the box seat, but
no, it's handy if you get to
South Africa West Indies game is going to be huge.
Mm-hmm. But the other thing is, I don't rate South Africa to go too far, like winning, because they've had a lot of close games. They could have lost to Nepal and they could have lost to USA. That's a bit of a worry.
Yeah, I still think probably England and West Indies go through that group.
No, I agree. Talking about England and West Indies, they just played this morning. We did a bit of a live stream for that, so thanks for people tuning into that.
Yep.
England got the job done in the end, pretty convincingly. When West Indies had it really even.
It was really close.
The scores quickly as I go.
It was almost 2 a ball with 10 overs to go.
Yeah, so the West Indies put up 180 for 4. Much better batting pitch than a few other teams have seen in England. So off their 20 overs, then England got the 181 done, 8 wickets spare, so 181 for 2 off 17.3 overs.
Unreal.
It was almost 2 a ball, and then they've done it with 2.3 overs to spare. England just got it done pretty easy.
Who was surprised Moeen Ali only bowled 2 overs, got 1 for 15, so I thought he probably deserved another couple of overs.
How many? They bowled everyone 1, 2. Because 7 bowlers.
I saw that Mark Wood got smashed around and over. Jofra Archer went for a little bit as well. But the West Indies was just shared the runs.
Yep. But Rodman Powell did really well. 36 off 17. 211 striker. You love to see that.
Unreal. But yeah, it was all about Phil Salt and Johnny Bairstow for England.
That was a huge partnership. What was their partnership in the end? I'm trying to have a quick look.
They were 1 for 67. No, that was the
2 for 84. And then they didn't lose a wicket after that. So they've just less than a 100-run partnership. Awesome by Phil Salt and Johnny Bairstow. Bairstow, we definitely don't rate him in Australia, but he's been really good in T20s.
He played really well. I hate to say it, but he played some good shots.
Attacking
he was a bit lucky with a couple of shots. He just missed a couple of chop-ons that went for 4, and then obviously he had the one that we thought he skied, but the wind probably carried it for 6, but he still batted really well. And then it was the aggressor in the Phil Salt partnership before Phil Salt went off in the last 20 runs.
When you got a 100-run partner or just under a 100-run partnership and they're both going 185 strike rate, jeez, that's the difference between England and Pakistan.
Exactly.
I don't like talking down Pakistan. We love Pakistan on this show, but a lot of their guys are going 100, 110 strike rate. If you can get that above 150 plus, you're gonna, or even 130 plus, like Moeen Ali did. You can win a game off your own bat. So Phil Salt was awesome, 87 off 47.
Yeah, that's the thing the West Indies didn't do. They didn't have someone who
lost their first game.
Went on and made some runs, like Phil Salt did. But credit to England, they look like they're going to go to the semis, unfortunately.
Yeah, possibly, but never know. Fingers crossed USA can do something. West Indies lost their first game now, which is crazy.
If England progress, could we see Australia-England semi-final?
That would be huge, yeah. Yeah, we could actually. I was thinking, I forgot about that. Originally, we didn't think that would progress, but they've beaten the West Indies. That's their biggest.
And if they both win, could meet each other in the final.
That'd be great.
That'd be
actually
unreal.
England. Yeah, who would we rather? I think we'd rather play England over India in the final, because India India like to crumble in the finals.
I'd rather play England in the final.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, definitely India have more depth. I think.
I'd rather play anyone but India in the final. Okay, even though India have a terrible record in the finals,
they just have more depth and stars.
Who would you rather play? England or the West Indies, assuming those are the two that
I know the West Indies have been almost in better form, but I'd probably rather play them. They're a lot less experienced in the finals. England are just a lot older, more experienced, a lot of level-headed guys, as Bairstow and Salt showed. So I'd probably play England.
Yeah, I'm still worried about that batting order. I don't know why Moeen Ali is batting at 3 and Harry Brooks down at
that was a bit
5 and 6.
When they really needed to go hard, when Moeen Ali's not going to hit sixes every time.
Yeah, he's not going to make you 80 or 50 like Phil Salt.
No. There you go. So, England beating the West Indies in that one. Tipping results so far.
No.
I've done the Stephen Bradbury. I'm just coming in late. I'm coming in late here. 31-30. I'm leading the way. You forgot to do your tips.
I forgot to do my tips for today's game.
What are you doing, mate?
I know. I should have done it yesterday. But luckily you tipped West Indies to beat England.
Would you have tipped West Indies?
I would have tipped the Windies. Okay, I would have tipped the same as you. So
all right. Well, that's just game's the game.
Game is the game. Unfortunately, I'm down by 1.
Well, it's going to be tight towards the end. I'm a bit nervous.
It will be.
And Tom's already just forgotten, and so is Olivia. Everyone else in that tipping comp's forgotten, so it's just Marcus and I
actually think Tom started tipping again. He did.
Oh, he's trying to catch us.
He's not going to catch us.
What's he on? So we're on 30-31.
Yeah, it's probably not even worth having a look. Let's have a look at the leaderboard. Tom, 14.
Oh, come on, Tom. He went to Bali. Forgot about that. That's fair enough. All right, let's get into the Super 8 weekend tips, Marcus. We'll start off with huge clash tonight in Australia. India versus Afghanistan. Who are we taking, and who's going to be the standout players in this one?
Look, this is going to be a close game.
It will be.
I'm predicting this to be very close.
Yeah.
India haven't been great. Afghanistan have been very good bar their game against the West Indies.
India undefeated, but they haven't been convincing in a few of their games.
Yes. And I just think they're lacking something there. I think there's a little bit of identity missing. Obviously, Virat Kohli has India stripes, but in saying that, they have won every game.
Rohit Sharma's been really good.
Kohli playing well. So, look, it's going to be tough. Maybe India just, you
going? Okay.
Maybe.
I'm going to go Afghanistan. I think Gurbaz and Zadran in the top order, if they make some runs, they can beat anyone. Their top three is really good in this tournament. I'm going to lean towards Afghanistan. Why not? I think
Jasprit Bumrah's going to be crucial.
Jasprit Bumrah, yes. So they have been relying on Bumrah a little bit with the ball.
Yep.
You've got a few other guys that need a lift. If some other guys around Bumrah can lift, if he only has to get two or three wickets rather than 4+, then they're not just relying on Bumrah. I'm going to lean towards Afghanistan though. That might annoy a few people. Don't hate it.
It is going to be India's first game in Barbados.
Yeah.
And obviously Afghanistan played their first group stage games there. So could play a factor.
There you go. So we're a bit split on that one, India and Afghanistan.
Yep.
Next one, the first Super 8 game for the Aussies, Australia versus Bangladesh, 10:30 a.m. Australia time. This is going to be really close as well. I think Bangladesh have put up some really strong fights. I didn't even pick them to make it out of the Super 8. They had a horrible build-up. They've bounced back really, really well. Their openers have done really well.
Yep.
Their bowling has been really good. So this could be pretty close. I think Australia has too much bowling depth though.
Yes.
And that's going to be the difference in this one.
Yeah, look, I think the worry is Bangladesh with the bat. They just don't make enough runs.
No.
They don't. If we look at the group stage so far, 125 against Sri Lanka, but they obviously were chasing that and made that with an over to spare.
Yep.
But against South Africa, they only made 109 and lost that game, batted the full 20. Against Netherlands, they made 159. And they're going to be facing a tougher bowling attack in Australia.
Yeah.
And also Nepal, they got bowled out for 106.
Yeah, I think if you're playing against Australia, other than a few little hiccups Australia have had along the way, you got to make 170+, I'd say. Especially in the West Indies, because these pitches have been a lot nicer to bat on than the US pitches. Yep. So I think I'm going to go the Aussies.
I don't think it's going to be close at all.
You don't think it's going to be close?
I think the Aussies smash Bangladesh.
Ooh, okay.
Get a cheeky net run rate spike.
A cheeky net run rate, so I don't mind that. I'm going to go the Aussies. I think this would be pretty close. Bangladesh, I think last time we played had a really good opening partnership. So I don't mind Bangladesh to put up a fight. But yeah, the Aussies should win this one. Similar to the Scotland game, just it might be a little bit worrying. The big storm will come out and hit some bombs. He's been awesome.
Yep.
All right, let's do some quick fire ones for the other games that are coming up over the weekend. England, South Africa. Who are you going?
I will go with England.
England? Yeah, I think I'm going to go England as well. South Africa, I don't know. They're undefeated, but they're frauds, I think, somehow. I think they are too. They just scraped over the line against a lot of teams.
Yep.
Next one, USA versus West Indies. USA have been the surprise packet. But
they have, but tough ask against the Windies in Barbados. Windies for me.
Yeah, Windies with the home crowd. Next one I'll touch on, India, Bangladesh. There's been some pretty close matches, but India have a really strong record.
India with that, and they bowled Bangladesh out for under 100.
Under 100? Ooh, Bumrah Pfeiffer?
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah.
Honestly, they will. I'm not very impressed with the Bangladesh batting front.
Okay.
Bowling, they can cause some issues.
All right. Yeah, I'll go.
Batting's a bit of an issue.
I'll go India pretty comfortably in that one as well. All right, we're going to cover another Aussie game here, Afghanistan, Australia. We can go a bit more in depth in the Aussies, why not?
Yeah.
Afghanistan, Australia. Who do we think's going to rise in this one?
Oh, this is
a tough one.
This is like a toss of the coin for me. I think if we can get some early wickets, Afghanistan are in some trouble.
Yep.
Because I think you've mentioned that once you look past the top 3-4, slim pickings for Afghanistan.
Yeah, the games that they've won, Afghanistan, is because their top three has done really well. And then obviously Faruqi's been amazing with the ball.
Yeah.
And Rashid Khan and a few other bowlers. But yeah, I think Stark is that main guy that can get an early wicket and just go straight through Afghanistan.
Yeah, I don't think Faruqi will be a big issue for Australia. He has taken the most wickets in the tournament, 12 ahead of Nortje with 10, but has played a game less.
Mm-hmm. They've had a pretty easy group though.
Australia have liked pace on so far this tournament. You've seen it when they played England with Mark Wood and Jofra Archer.
Warner loves it.
And Warner does as well. So especially on these grounds, which can be a little bit short, square boundaries. So look, I think spin is the big issue with
Zamstagram.
with Zamstagram, Rashid Khan as well, obviously from Afghanistan point of view.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, we'll go Australia here, just maybe like 30 runs.
Yeah, I agree. I think it could come down to the last couple of overs. So I'm going to say like 10, 20 runs, maybe a little bit less. Aussies will get it done, but it'll be really close. I think that's going to be one of the games of the Super 8 in the tournament. So that's going to be awesome. Let's go to Monday night, or Sunday night, sorry, in Australia. Next one is USA, England. We'll just go quick fire again.
USA.
Did not think we'd have that.
Just because I don't want England to go through. So we'll go to the US.
US have been pretty good, but I got to go England. They bounced back really well. I got to go England. Sorry, mate. Next one, West Indies, South Africa. Sorry, that's the last one we'll do. Quick fire tip on that one.
West Indies, yeah, I think, as we mentioned, South Africa on fraud watch.
They are.
And the West Indies, although they just lost to England, they've shown more signs than South Africa.
Yeah, I think Dre Russ is going to come clutch, and you'll finish off that South Africa side, West Indies to win that one. Oof. All right, that's all of the Super 8 weekend tips. That stumps for the Cricket Today show. We'll be back with this show on Monday, I believe, for a massive weekend review and looking ahead to India versus Australia. That is a massive Super 8 game. Anytime those two teams clash is just cricketing power nations just going head to head. So send in any questions. Let us know in the comments what you like about the show. If you're missing Leo, apparently a lot of people are. All right. Thank you very much, Marcus.
Cheers, Tesco.
Thanks, Gerald. Thanks to me. And that's another episode of Cricket Day done. We're out.
If you like this show, make sure you check out all the other shows on the Sports Today network, from the AFL Today show to the Cricket Today podcast, the Football Today podcast, as well as NBA Australia and NFL Australia. With Sports Today, your sporting needs have never been easier to cover.